Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, professional astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. Welcome to autumnal eclipse season 2024. Stay tuned while I fill you in on the upcoming eclipse cycle of September through October 2024. Saturn and Neptune are retrograde in Pisces, and Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, spicing it up during the eclipses, throwing in an extra whammy. Hey listeners, I want to remind you to support Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine podcast. You can do that by going on to www.buzzsprout.com/958-528/support. This will be in the show notes. Welcome to the episode on the eclipses of September through October 2024. We have a full moon lunar eclipse occurring on September 17, 2024 at 10:34 p.m. Eastern Time, with the moon in Pisces and sun in Virgo. And then the new moon solar eclipse beams in on October 2nd at 2:49 p.m. Eastern Time, with the sun and moon together in Libra. Go back and listen to my previous episode on eclipses, way back from May 22nd, 2020, entitled Total Eclipse of the Heart, What You Need to Know About Eclipses for More Info. In today's episode, I will discuss these upcoming eclipses and what they mean for all of us. These eclipses are particularly potent because they fall during Pluto's last gasp in Capricorn, the end of the old order. They also occur smack during the lead up to the American presidential election. We will see some big shifts occurring during the next 6 weeks. Lunar eclipses can release and remove situations as well as bring big surprises. So these fall eclipses in 2024 are portal days as well. Openings into new realities or higher dimensions. Or you can just be stuck on 3D and watch the news every night and get caught up in the polarity and duality of everything happening here, including the election cycle. But for those who want to use this time to advance their consciousness, you can attune to the galactic and spiritual forces available. Eclipses provide openings for galactic downloads and physical upgrades that we will actually feel pulsing through our body during these eclipse window. September 17, 2024 brings a lunar eclipse and a super full moon, making it a rare super full moon lunar eclipse. This will be a partial eclipse. So the moon will be shining bright and strong during the night. Falling at 25 degrees of Pisces, and Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so this lunar eclipse can precurse endings and also possibly breakthroughs in consciousness. Pisces full moon opens the portal to divine awakening. I notice that my Pisces moon clients are generally very spiritually or musically inclined, and musicians, a lot of them. However, Pisces also rules addiction and alcoholism. So we can see those Pisces moon types who are drinkers and addicts come out too. Someone should do a study to see how many people go into recovery or rehab after a Pisces full moon or Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, since everything comes to the surface. On a positive spiritual note, Pisces moon reaches for the transcendent and mystical experiences beyond the confines of everyday practical reality, Virgo ruled. The eclipse will illuminate hidden information or revelations. Something may come full circle. Since Pisces is the end of the zodiac, many things can come to a conclusion, and many people will leave their bodies as they come to the end of their lives. Remember, as I have spoken about before, eclipses provide powerful windows for souls to exit from their physical form, or commonly known as dying. Lunar eclipses tend to abruptly bring things to an end, and see situations that we have been hesitant to conclude or don't know how to bring to an end. There can be shocks and surprises around an eclipse. Since 2023, the lunar nodes have been traveling through the signs Aries and Libra. Lunar nodes always activate a polarity in astrology. So the eclipses since 2023 have been occurring in the signs Aries or Libra or both. And thus, you Aries and Libras have been feeling the ecliptic heat. But this September eclipse doesn't fall in alignment with those nodes. Instead, it falls in Pisces. The October eclipse on the 2nd will wrap up the Aries Libra axis of eclipses, as it is a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. So, the shifting of the eclipse cycle from one pair of zodiac polarity signs to the next one happens when we are at a transitionary point. The nodes also travel in reverse through the zodiac. We are now wrapping up the Aries Libra eclipses and getting ready to enter the Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle, which will go on until 2027. During the September 17th lunar eclipse, the polarity of Pisces and Virgo in astrology will be activated. Tag, you're it, Pisces and Virgo. Get ready for the next couple years. The Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle will really be very active all of 2025, but this is our first taste of what is to come, both in our personal lives and collectively. And as I always say, it's always good to check with your astrologer, www.jilljardineastrology.com, to see if these eclipse degree and points will affect a personal planet or any planet in your natal chart. And then think back, the last time we experienced the Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle was during November 2015 through May 2017. So you can think back to this time to see what themes were showing up for you. Remember, it's not that the same things are going to happen, but there's a particular theme. And interestingly enough, just in general, Pisces and Virgo rules health and healing. Virgo is more the allopathic, traditional medicine, where Pisces is more energetic medicine. So also Pisces, Virgo-Pisces is having to do with the spiritual, also can signify a lack of boundaries, where Virgo is very, very concerned with good boundaries. So we'll see a lot of growth going on in the coming 2 years with health and well-being and ways that health is dealt with. I also predict that we'll see a rise of spiritual healing. The North Node will be traveling through Pisces and the South Node through Virgo. So we'll be seeing some new energetic practices maybe being vetted or verified by mainstream medicine to be incorporated into healing practices. It should be pretty exciting, especially if you have strong planets in Virgo and Pisces. You'll have some things going on in your own life. So we are getting this introduction in this full moon lunar eclipse for what will follow in the next couple years, the Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle, which runs until February 2027. Under the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse on September 17th, as I mentioned in my September 2024 Astro Update, be prepared for revealings and exposure of hidden information. The news will certainly be shocking. Make sure your boundaries are intact, as they could be tested during the eclipse. Protect your field, seal your aura, and don't let your energy seep out to those people, situations, or media blasts that will be seeking your attention. Remember, energy flows where attention goes. So we have to use Virgo vigilance and be very discerning where we put our time and energy. I still predict there will be some kind of health scare perpetuated by mainstream media at this time, or certainly an emphasis on getting certain health interventions. Well, it's that time of year, isn't it? Get your flu shot, get your new COVID shot. Well, again, use your discernment and discrimination. If this is something that's helped you in the past, then go for it. Always consult your medical practitioner, but also consult your own body and see what your body's wisdom has to say. Virgo and Pisces is the health and healing axis in astrology. As I said before, Virgo is physical health and rules medicine and traditional health interventions, but also nutrition and food and other ways we keep ourselves healthy, while Pisces rules spiritual and energy healing. Pisces is a water sign, so there may be more water issues, hurricanes, flooding, inundations, water-related crisis. So here we go into the Piscean full moon lunar eclipse. On a positive note, this is a very highly spiritual time to tune in and tune out. This is the harvest moon, so we can see what we have harvested in the first 9 months of 2024. Virgo rules the practical, how we deal with day-to-day life, while Pisces rules the spiritual life. The key in balance lies in identifying and expressing our spiritual needs while maintaining order in our everyday lives. The Sabian symbol for this full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees Pisces is a religious organization succeeds in overcoming the corrupting influence of perverted practices and materialized ideas. The keynote is the power of the soul to intervene in the personal life and to induce necessary catharsis. These transformations are necessary to break up exclusivism, pride, jealousy, greed for power and wealth. This is a moon of purification. So very nice with the Virgo Pisces, purify, get yourself ready to receive finer vibrations, fine-tune your physical form, and be ready to receive the downpourings of enhanced galactic light. Boundaries that are ruled by Pisces will probably be a big issue around this lunar eclipse, especially violation of boundaries, including issues of migrants, immigrants, people coming over boundaries, especially those who eat pets. Now, before we get to the solar eclipse of October 2nd, I want to talk about the astrological significance of eclipses and why we should care about them. I've mentioned this in previous eclipse episodes, but it's worth noting again. Eclipses are personally important to you if it happens to fall on your birthday or a day or two before, because then for the next 6 months, you might be in the hot seat. You certainly have to make changes in your life. Eclipses can also affect you personally if another planet in your birth chart is activated because it is located at the eclipse degrees. This, again, is something you can't necessarily figure out on the internet or through AI astrologers. You should probably consult an experienced astrologer who can tell you if any of your planets will be affected by the degrees of the eclipses and what area of your life will experience change. This is indicated by what house the Pisces or Virgo planets are located in. So again, check out JillJardineAstrology.com/shop and book a reading. Eclipses can hide something from your consciousness, take something away, or reveal something. Solar eclipses tend to expose or reveal something that has been hidden, while lunar eclipses tend to be more malefic and can bring up unexpected challenges. Lunar eclipses tend to take things away. Eclipses also affect the collective consciousness, our society, our country, our world as well. They mark turning points for collective humanity. They indicate big changes that come in for better or for worse. Also, they show us what we need to look at in the coming 6 months following the eclipse and notice what does emerge. I've noticed it usually takes the month or even 2 months out after the eclipse to see the result and whether that's in your personal life or in the collective. Are you interested in natural health and regenerative healing? Do you want to work with vibration to heal your body? Check out this patented wearable light technology at www.lifewave.com/JillJar. LifeWave is a company that has patches that you wear, so it's not transdermal, you're not taking anything in, and what these patches do, they activate your body's light. It's called biomodulation, and that light is activated. Your body starts producing GHK, copper peptides, which in turn activates stem cell production. That's right. So, wearing these patches will regenerate your body, reflects your body's light back into your tissues, and you become more vital, energized, reduce pain, inflammation, improvement of sleep, increased strength are all possibilities. Other benefits could be hair quality, rapid wound healing, mental clarity, increased joy and stamina, your skin appearance and wrinkles could go away. Again, all probable and possible depending on your chemistry. Others have enjoyed increased sports performance and recovery and restored muscle or skeletal conditions. Check it out at lifewave.com/Jill Jar and order yours today. A lunar eclipse occurs on a full moon when the sun and moon are in opposite signs. So there's already the tension and pull of the polarity of the opposite zodiac signs. As I mentioned during the September 17th lunar eclipse, the polarity of Pisces and Virgo in astrology will be activated. Tag, you're it, Pisces and Virgo. And during a lunar eclipse, astronomically, the Earth is exactly between the sun and moon. We can see the Earth's shadow affecting the color of the moon, which can sometimes turn reddish, orangey, brown, or gray during a lunar eclipse. So the collective consciousness is certainly affected by lunar eclipses, but so are people. People can get really emotional at lunar eclipses. And again, the days leading up, the day of, and the days after. We can see the range of emotions from anger, fear, rage, jealousy coming to the surface. I'm sure that there's been studies done that there is more road rage with a full moon lunar eclipse. People's shadow side emerges, and it's not pretty. Relationships can take a toll during eclipse up and the fallout from them. And this is certainly going to be so on the October 2nd solar eclipse because it's in the sign of relationships, Libra. Many relationships can break up and make big changes, and secrets are revealed too. That affair that was hidden may not be after a eclipse. So that leads me to another point about eclipses, which is what I call eclipse fallout. That is what happens as a result of an eclipse collectively or in one's personal life in those weeks and months after the eclipse. Solar eclipses aren't considered as malefic as lunar eclipses. Solar eclipses usher in new beginnings. Sometimes around these eclipses, we have a preponderance of solar flares, or there are sunspots on the actual sun in our galaxy that is affecting us here on Earth. What solar eclipses can do for people on the planet is that they shine light on what has been hidden from individuals or in collective society. The astrological phenomena that brings solar eclipses, or the astronomy of a solar eclipse, is when the moon lines up directly between the Earth and the sun. They always happen at new moons. Astrologically, when the sun and moon are conjunct, as we say in astrology, in the same sign, that is a new moon. So you're going to see an activation of that sign in your chart. This solar eclipse that occurs on October 2nd, 2024, occurs during the sun sign Libra, and where the nodes are South Node in Libra, North Node in Aries. So there'll be a lot of relationships concluding or reaching a resolution of some sort. You also have to look at where does Libra fall in your personal chart? What house does it rule? What planets do you have there? Do you have any planets near the degree of this October 2nd solar eclipse, which will occur at 10 degrees Libra? The zodiac sign Libra, as I mentioned, rules relationships. So we will see many relationships getting stirred up and perhaps endings of partnerships, marriages. Let's just watch entertainment tonight to see how many celebrity couples are breaking up. That will give us a good gauge on what's happening in the collective. The new moon solar eclipse in Libra occurs on October 2nd, 2024 at 2:49 p.m. Eastern Time. Interestingly, it also falls on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish holiday. Maybe there will be some resolution in the Israeli-Gaza war in the weeks after the eclipse. Libra is the peacekeeper. Solar eclipses can bring new beginnings, but they are delayed because they have been eclipsed. Occurring in the sign Libra, this eclipse will show us the relationship factor shifting and changing. Libra also rules negotiation, diplomacy, peace, and balance. There may be more diplomatic efforts to bring about peace in war-torn countries. The Sabian symbol for 10 degrees Libra is, quote, having passed safely through narrow rapids, a canoe reaches calm waters. The keynote is the self-control and poise necessary to reach a steady state of inner stability. Here we are dealing essentially with the emotional life and its crises. The inner revelation, which brought about dramatic confrontations, can now be meditated upon as it is reflected on the calm waters of the mind. As a keyword, one may use the term relief, end quote, from Dane Rudar's book, An Astrological Mandala. This Sabian symbol has also been called the risky business symbol, where something big is at risk, and navigating through it may feel dire or tumultuous, with the end result not being clear, as one has to make it to the other side. One has to remain calm and poised to make it through the hullabaloo. These are Libra-like qualities. Equanimity, peace, and balance are necessary during this eclipse window to reach the calm water. Wow, this can really be applied to the United States presidential race leading up to the election in November. Interesting, one of the candidates is a Libra. Can you guess which one? Some other important information about solar eclipses. During and after a solar eclipse, we sense the stirrings of new beginnings, both personally and in our society. The moon can block out the sun's light at a solar eclipse, distorting our sense of reality. Do not make any big decisions at a solar or lunar eclipse, as your clarity can be obscured, just like the sun or moon being obscured, and there can also be confusion. Eclipses clean the slate, whether the slate is your mind, your experiences, relationships, and other manifestations that eclipse will bring. So, we can use the energy knowing a new beginning is coming with a solar eclipse, but maybe wait a few days or even weeks out before we start on our new path. That is a good way to use the energy. Sometimes the solar eclipse opens up opportunities which will allow us to follow a new directive in life. On a collective level, solar eclipses are a very interesting time to see what shows up in the media. Lots of secrets are revealed and people will be exposed. Solar eclipses force growth, and as I said earlier, they tend to activate one sign of the zodiac because the sun and moon are together there. So the other thing to consider is the eclipse fallout, where lunar eclipses can take things away from us, both personally and collectively. Also, there are big things that can happen during what I call the eclipse window in the weeks leading up to an eclipse, and for 2 months after, even up to 3 months. A lot of things can happen. As I said, there are windows when people can leave their bodies. People who die in this eclipse aftermath are waiting for a way to exit from this lifetime fast. There can also be other shocks around eclipses. In fact, there are what we call the aftershocks of things like earth changes. Earthquakes occur quite a bit after eclipses or even leading up to them, as do weird weather phenomena during or after the eclipses, such as tornadoes, hail, hurricanes, tsunamis, and other weather phenomena of biblical portions. We're seeing, leading up to the 17th of September eclipse, there was a earthquake in Los Angeles during rush hour on September 12th, and there have been many fires happening in California. And then there is a hurricane heading for Louisiana. So we've got 3 of these weather phenomena happening in the 5 days leading up to the September 17th eclipse. But let's remember the positive. Our physical realities are undergoing a transformation. We are merging dimensions. As the third dimensional realities reveal their density and limitation, higher dimensional realities disclose their potentialities. Our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies are being upgraded by the multidimensional light, pouring in from galactic portals and spiritual sources. We are receiving an upgrade at the eclipses if we can access these higher levels of consciousness. We must fine-tune our physical vehicles to integrate the downpouring of light. So that goes without saying, eclipses are good times to do meditation, prayer, mantra. And we've talked in the past about how some cultures of Vedic astrology believes you shouldn't even be outside during an eclipse, but using the time to go within. So prepare for September 17th, October 2nd, 2024 eclipses, and do with this energy what you will. It's a great time to book a reading. So check out my website, JillJardineAstrology.com/shop, and pick the kind of reading or service you would like. I hope you enjoyed this episode on the eclipses of fall 2024. Remember to subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine signing out, sending ecliptic healing vibrations through the quantum field.